Hey, TikTok, YouTube, all you internet folks, Clue Man here. So, I hate to be Debbie Downer. Um, I really do, but welcome to stage 6 of the 7 stages of authoritarianism. And we've officially reached stage 6. The white Christian nationalists are, which basically is the root of Nazism, are in charge of our government, and the last chips are about to fall. And understand this: a fascist government doesn't announce they're fascist. They demonize the anti-fascist, which is what they're in the process of doing. Um, I can say this with clarity and certainty: whoever demonizes and goes after anti fascists is a Nazi or a Nazi sympathizer. Hitler did the exact same thing in Karachi, Germany in like 1938, okay, or before. The first people rounded up were not Jews. First people that were rounded up were dissidents, people who were dissenting against fascism. And then the union leaders, the newspaper journalists and editors, the professors, anybody related to education and science, anybody who was a threat to them and was sounding the alarm about what was going on was rounded up. And we are months away from that. Okay. And have you noticed how the Karachis have been emboldened? They're out marching. Um, they're disrupting peaceful protests. They're being agitators. Um, that one 33-year-old dipshit down in Georgia thought it would be totally okay to wear his SS Gestapo uniform down to a college bar in Georgia. It's like, what's going on in these people's heads? They're being emboldened because they know our government is fascist, okay? And Trump wants a reason, any reason at all, to initiate the Insurrection Act or martial law because he wants to be able to suspend elections. They're already doing everything they can to um, cheat, and they're not even trying to hide it. They're trying to rig and cheat on the next election. So we're going into November here. We have 1 year to get our country back. And if we don't, we will be in full blown fascism. And people like me, dissenters who are vocal, will be being rounded up. Um, they're normalizing rounding people up with a secret police on brown people. That's what they're doing right now. They're normalizing, they're making it normal. And you can get on any website and see videos of it and scroll into the comments and see what people are saying. All the white Christian nationalist, racist, homophobic, transphobic, xenophobic pieces of shit are cheering on ICE because about 33 million of our countrymen are okay with this shit. And yeah, we had a No Kings protest and 7 million people came out, biggest protest ever. But what about the other 300 million of us that need to fucking get out there, okay? Um, yeah, it's definitely getting scary out here. And ICE is ramping up its surveillance operations against dissenting Americans. Um, there will be no federal aid going to social programs, SNAP, and things like that on November 1st. So people are going to be starving in November. They won't be having, 1 out of 5 kids in America rely on SNAP for food. So I don't know about you, but if I'm trying to feed my kids and keep my kids healthy, with Medicaid or Medicare, and those programs get cut, and my kid doesn't have health insurance, and they have a pre-existing condition, and then I can't buy food for them, I'm probably going to revolt, right? And that's what Trump's hoping for. He's hoping people will revolt en masse because then he can declare the Insurrection Act or martial law, and he can completely use the military against us and suspend elections. That's what's going on right now in our country, people. And I hate to be verbose and I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but listen, look at history, okay? There's only like two ways that an authoritarian dictator leaves power, and it's not from elections and voting because those are rigged and staged. Okay, there's two ways. Number one, a military coup. And that's probably not going to happen because Pete Kegbreath and old Trumple Thinskin have already purged the military of any generals that might stand up. And the ones that are still there, if there's any dissenters, they're going to keep their mouth shut because if they mumble anything to one of the sycophant loyalist generals next to them, they'll get turned in for sedition and probably hung. That's what Adolf Hitler did with his freaking generals. Okay? So, what's the other way that an authoritarian dictator gets taken down? Revolution. That's it. Those are the two ways. A coup by the military or revolution. Look it up. Every historical fascist dictator in history. I guess the only other way would be if the world declares war on the U.S., if NATO and the United Nations steps up and takes out our government. But think of all the innocent Americans in the crosshairs, in the crossfire of that. We're in dire straits. So I'm appealing to the 300 million of us who aren't white Christian nationalist, fascist, MAGA, fucking crotchy Nazi pieces of shit to step up and fucking do something now because our country depends on it. There's your clues.